Hello everybody, so today I'm exploring the world of classic commercial vehicles. So as you know, retro cars are my thing, but while looking for content in the auction halls of Morris Leslie, I stumbled upon a warehouse full of 1950s onwards vans, lorries and even a bus. They all appeared to be restored, so I thought, why not? Let's get some content of something completely different for the channel. So in this video, I'll do a walk around of 12 of them and get inside and take a look at the cabins. I hope you find this an eye-opener. I certainly did. My name's Chris and welcome to Retro Ratchet. Now if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button and let's try and get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I've got the first retro van to review on the channel, and in my opinion the Mark II Ford Transit is the one to choose to showcase a typical commercial vehicle from the early 80s. This was one of the first transits to focus on factors other than outright load carrying capacity, such as safety and driver comfort, for example. Right, so let's take a wee look inside this one. Wow, the seats are absolutely mint. Black vinyl, I would imagine. One thing you do notice straight away is that it's quite a small van compared to certainly the more modern ones. Maybe air vents in there. I imagine that would have probably been a speaker grill back in the day. And then you've got your original Ford radio there. It isn't even a radio cassette, it's just a radio with your medium and long wave. We don't even have FM on that one. So that's your gear shift layout down there, your interior fan control, and just hot and cold and the different directions there for the airflow. But yeah, like stepping back in time. Right, so let's take a look at the instrument panel. Well, it's pretty basic. You've got a speedometer that goes up to 90 mile an hour. You've got your fuel gauge and your temperature gauge. And then there's a blanking one in the middle, so I don't know what would have been in there. Maybe rev counter, and then just indicator, oil, full beam, battery, and your other indicator. And this one, that's your glow plug warning light, because this is a diesel. Hazard warning switch and rear fog light. There's another pull switch over there, I'm not sure what that is. And this looks like a little fuse box down below there. But one thing you do notice is this steering wheel is massive, big 3-spoke steering wheel with plenty of play in it. Gear stick, yeah, massive amount of play in that. It'd be nice to have actually gotten to drive this today. To see what it was actually like. 2.4 diesel. But yeah, I don't know much about vans, but what I do know is this one is in fantastic condition. There can't be many of these Mark II Transits left like this. Right, so let's check out this bus. Now again, I'm no bus expert, but this one looks pretty interesting. And it is open. Check out these wheels actually, before we even get inside it. They are pretty smart. Around the front, Inverness, McBrain's, it's a Bedford on an E plate. Yeah, now this is very, very cool. So let's go inside. SMT Sales and Service Co Limited, Plaxton's body number 6735621. Wow, stepping back into the 1960s. Buses of this era do have a certain aroma to them. This is fantastic though. Luggage storage up there. And your sunroofs because you didn't get air conditioning back then. And that will be your engine sticking up there in the middle. And back when you had 2 front seats, that would have been great to get those seats if you were on a long journey. So we're going to have a wee sit. The driver's seat now. Interesting. Big, massive steering wheel. There's our speedometer. Goes up to 70. I think that's probably very optimistic. Temperature and fuel. Oil level. Air level. And a modern radio cassette. You've got a horn in the middle. That was a wee thing, I guess, to put a mic on. And switches, I guess, for lights and heaters, by the looks of it. Directional indicators. Your clutch. Actually, it isn't as heavy as I expected. What have we got down here? First, second, third, fourth and fifth. So the gear pattern is back to front. Yeah, it's very far back. It's first. God knows what that is. Third. 4th, yeah, so I think getting gears in this thing would definitely be a challenge, but I tell you what, this would be a noisy thing to drive, certainly with that sitting there. And it is massive. It'd be nice to have a shot of one of these one day, actually. It's definitely be interesting. Right, let's move on to our next commercial vehicle. I don't really know much about caravans, so we will swiftly go past that. Let's have a quick look in, actually. Old retro caravan. Fascinating. What do we have here? Bedford. Pickup of some description. Very, very old, this one. Let's have a wee look inside. They are quite bare, actually, aren't they? Oh, Jesus. There is not a lot inside this one. There's your instrument panel there. Speedometer, petrol and battery amps. Now, we don't have anything about engine temperature. This is a very, very unusual driving position. Very, very upright. I wouldn't fancy doing many miles in this. I'm going to rely upon you guys to put in the comments more information about these old commercial vehicles. Bedford badge, made in England. Looks like we radiator cap there. Now what do we have? An ERF. This is interesting. This has obviously had a restoration at some point. Look at the condition that it's in. It is absolutely mint. Devon and Cornwall services. Right. So let's take a wee nosy in the cab of this one. Jesus Christ. So this will be interesting. I will have to try and climb up here. There's a handle that is a wee bit loose. And we're up. Oh God. This is some height. This thing is up. Wow. You can just smell the oil inside this. So I guess the engine is sitting in here. That would definitely be a noisy cab to be sitting in. Now, I don't think I've ever seen a steering wheel this size. I mean, there's the size of my arm. It is massive. Solid metal wheel. And a very springy and heavy clutch pedal. Brakes and your accelerator in there. So yeah, that is interesting. What have we got? Vacuum oil, mile per hour, amps and fuel. And obviously your handbrake down there. Probably your indicator switches here. Gears, yeah, I mean it does have gears. There is a lot of play going on here. So I think that was probably a gear of some description. I don't think I would fancy driving as well. I mean, I would give it a go. It does have lovely wood veneer trim. It would certainly be an experience. I mean, you sit so high up in this thing. The glass fibre roof panel up there and wiper motor exposed. Yeah, I mean, different day and age driving things like this, I guess. Cool looking old truck though. What do we think? Any comments on that one? Oh, look at this. Beast of a vehicle. This thing is massive. Robert Campbell Commercials Dumbarton. Jesus, this is an absolute beast. Solid metal bumper there. Wow. Massive radiator grille. You would not want to be hit by this thing. It does look like a big American truck, doesn't it? Now, we're going to have a go at getting inside it. A diesel tank under there. Right, this one isn't too bad. So let's get ourselves up there. Like a handle to hold on to. Looks like your handbrake to climb over. Oh, and we're in. We are in. There's a few big levers everywhere. Big, fat, massive fire extinguisher. And your pedals. This thing is going to be a beast to drive. I wonder if that's maybe a heater down there. Lighting is not very good in here. This is your instrument panel here. I think there's a few things probably missing. Proper old school. See all the wiring down there? Lots of wood. Your wiper motor up there. Yeah, it's a proper beast of a vehicle, this one. And here we have another Bedford. Wow, now this one is a diesel. That's interesting to see something this age that is diesel. This is beautiful inside. This has obviously had a restoration of some description. So we have a service training manual, Bedford Series TJ and TK diesel engines. Wow. This is nice, this one. Now this one is a wee bit more comfy than the others. Big, massive steering wheel here. Check out that big speedo in the middle there. Your water temperature and fuel temperature. Yeah, I quite like this one. All colour-coded inside. And the seats are a lot comfier in this than the previous ones I've sat in. Yeah, so pick up this one. But yeah, definitely been restored, this thing. Stunning condition. Right, what else can we find over here? We have an old Austin, but we'll bypass this because this is all about commercials, this video. And another Bedford. So somebody likes the Bedfords. Look at this thing. T. Notman Coal Merchants from Juniper Green. This is another beast, so let's take a wee look inside this one. I mean, look at that, look at the detail on this thing. It's incredible. Again, this is another thing that does look like it's been properly restored. And this time, we've got green and grey. Yeah, these Bedfords are pretty comfy to sit in. Yeah, it looks like similar to the last one. Big steering wheel. It'd be interesting to try and drive one of these old beasts. And the gears there. Yeah, well, it's not too bad, I guess, actually. You wouldn't know till you were out on the road. And green painted doors there. Tiny wee window winder, which is quite stiff. So that's another interesting old truck. Now what have we got around here? Now this one I spied earlier. This is lovely, this one. Again, must have been restored. Sand and gravel. Another Bedford on an L plate. I've seen pictures of these on the internet and I do think they are one of the most stylish old trucks you do get. Now, I'm going to try and get inside it for a wee nosy. Once we get over this massive wheel arch. So this will be a bit of a challenge while holding the phone. We'll try not to fall back out. And we are inside. Wow. Now this I like. Very plain, but still very, very cool. So what have we got there? Air pressure, fuel and engine temperature. Warning, all fluid levels, tyres and lights must be checked daily. Speedometer over there. 2-spoke steering wheel. You can actually see the ground through that. That might have been quite cold driving this in the winter. Very, very heavy clutch. Your gears are back here. Let's have a wee look. Yeah, 5-speed, so first is over that way. 5-speed gearbox, so first is over there. Second up there, third, fourth and fifth. Yeah, so that took a wee bit of manoeuvring. And then we've got, I think that's probably to control pressure lines there to the back maybe. Some of those have been disconnected, maybe the back tipped up on this. But yeah, I really like this one. I don't know if I would like driving it, but that's for another video, I would say. Let's have a wee look at the engine bay there. It's all been painted up. Massive chassis on these things. Like leaf springs under there. Your diesel tanks. But what a cracking looking truck this is. Yeah, I really, really like these. They're actually quite short by today's standards. When you look at the back section. And there is a couple of whopping batteries. They get that diesel engine started. Transit, we've done that earlier. Let's take a look down here. Ford on a K plate. Now this one also interests me. So let's take a wee closer look here. What do we know about this? Not a lot. It's another tipper. I think we should take a wee look inside this one, though. Ooh. Again, obviously a restored vehicle. Oh, second attempt to get inside. This is lovely, this one. I really like this one. Speedometer there, brake pressure, all these old lights and stuff. Yeah, this is nice. Lots of controls down here. I wonder what that is for. Not sure what those are. Well out of my comfort zone in this, that is for sure. But yeah, how cool is this old thing? And this would have been hard work driving something like this back in the day, I would say. Definitely not easy. What have we got hiding here? What is this one? This is quite a peculiar looking one. It is a Morris BMC diesel. This is definitely the oddest one I've seen today. These wee glass sections here. How quirky looking is this thing? I don't think much of your crash safety with glass there. 360 FG. Let's have a look inside. Look at this wee door here. This is very unusual. Obviously been retrimmed. Let's climb into this cabin. You've got that engine sitting in there again. And I tell you what, there's hardly any space for it being a truck. I mean, there's my legs away over to one side there. And a super light clutch in this one. 60 mph speedo. And you've got a wee speaker grill in there. This is an interesting old thing, isn't it? One seat there, a wee bit of space in the middle, and yeah, you can see right the way through there. What an unusual vehicle. Heater, wiper, fog, and you've got a Blue Point radio cassette player. What do we think of this one, guys? Is this a rare one? Leave a comment below. Now we have another two to look at. Let's have a wee look at this one. Morris. And a B plate. Interesting. Again, this thing is mint. Check this out. Another one that's been restored. We'll take a wee look inside. Yeah, that is 100% had a professional retrim in there. Big thud as the door shuts. Yeah, this one's had a lot of time spent on the trim. Yeah, it's lovely, this. Old Morris. Even though these have all been painted. 4-speed gearbox. That'd be interesting. And we nearly fell out. Certainly would have made an interesting video if I had fallen out. And here's the last one we're going to look at, is another Morris. What an unusual looking truck this one is. I have to say, I've never ever seen any of these things on the road. Don't even think I've seen any of these at shows. Certainly not such a wide selection as we've got in here. Right, so how do we get in this thing? Because it's a way up that waist height, so get sand on there and then in you get. Wow. I mean, this is a real eye-opener, you know. Big engine sitting under there, his wee engine compartment. I guess that's your handbrake, and that is your gears. So look at this, right? That's where you're sitting, and your gear stick is way back there. And you can see right the way through to the ground. That was sore. Yeah, so that's it. Don't put it in first, because you'll hammer your knuckles off that speedometer there. So your indicators there. Yeah. Again, there's not a lot of space inside. Everything's taken up by that engine. Nice to hear one of these running. That's what I'm fascinated about. It's getting back out.